Hey, this is Brittany from She Abundantly at sheabundantly.com. Some of you know, some of you don't know. I wrote a book called The Girlfriend Trap. And sometimes as I walk by it, I will pick it up and read it and just reread a few chapters to remind myself of these truths, to encourage myself, and just good quality content. Go pick it up on Amazon if you have not read it. Every young woman needs to read this, really young and old. But I wanted to share or read a small snippet of it that is just amazing and talk briefly about it. When it comes to sex, a lot of us don't realize that our integrity or the lack thereof is attached to sex. So let me read this. Chapter 7, and it's titled Bait Number 2, which is Easy Access. Okay? This whole title of the book is called The Girlfriend Trap, The Bait What the Trap Creates and Your Way of Escape. And as I talk about easy access and the things that we get robbed of when we are in these bootleg relationships, let's just call a thing, one of them is our integrity. So here it goes. Your virginity is not a burden, nor is it a bargaining tool. Okay? It's a precious gift that is attached to a very important characteristic that you have. And you are the only one who has the power and privilege to give it to anyone else. It is to be cherished and protected from harm and abuse. But once you give it unlawfully, and he takes it unlawfully, it is one thing lost that you won't be able to get back. So here it is. Having sex as a girlfriend and not as a wife robbed you of your sexual integrity. Integrity, that's the valuable characteristic that sex is attached to. And it's the state of living in truth and wholeness and not in a lie or division. When you have sex with a guy you are not married to, you give up your power to live a life of truth. Let me explain. Sex is an act of commitment. It's an act that speaks loudly without words. And what sex is saying is, I am with you until death do us part. I am committed to you. When you have sex with someone, you are telling them that you are committed to them and them only. Well, if you did not actually commit your life to them in marriage, because marriage is the only kind of commitment there is between a man and woman romantically, that is a fact, you are lying to them. You are doing something with your body that you did not do with your heart or your life. And get this, you are not only lying to them, but you are lying to yourself and all those around you. To live a life of sexual integrity, which means telling the truth with your body, shows your ability to commit and remain faithful to one person. When you have sex outside of commitment, it works against you because you are showing that person, showing yourself, the world, that you are a liar and that you don't know how to be committed and faithful to one person since you are not committed to the person you are having sex with right now. Do you see how that works? You are lying to him. And if someone considered marrying you, they would have the right to ask this question. You have had sex with this guy and that guy. How do I know you won't have sex with another guy while you are married to me? That's a really good question. How would he know? Since you have no real standards regarding who you have sex with, what's going to stop you from cheating in your marriage if all this time you have made it a practice to lie and have sex with whomever you chose to? What are the requirements for you to have sex with a guy? Your current actions will tell you. Does all a guy have to do is be your boyfriend? Show you some attention? If yes, many guys can and will do that for you. And that's all it takes to get you into the bed. Listen, if commitment is not the standard to have sex with you, then it won't take much to get you to have sex outside of it. Since you are lying as a girlfriend, an unmarried woman, you will lie as a wife, a married woman. This makes you an untrustworthy person. And the same goes for boyfriends who are having sex. It creates a cracked and flawed foundation in any relationship. I wanted to read that and I wanted to talk briefly about that because that is a solid truth. We think of sex as just some physical thing of our bodies meeting, vagina and penis, but it goes deep to the soul and to the spirit. The reason why most of us, a lot of us, I'm not excluding myself because I've experienced illegal sex, I've had illegal sex, I've experienced what I'm telling you now. The reason why we have not reached our goals, or maybe, haven't reached financial or successful, want to be successful, or reach places to where we're like, yes, this is a success. In relationships with our people, family, friends, relationships romantically, it's really because we are living a lie. And sex is one of the reasons, or sex is one of the things that shows that we are living a lie. When we have sex, it literally reforms the soul. It literally reforms, reshapes the soul. Your body, we can feel, as an organ. Your soul and your spirit, they're real too. And I like to think of them as like organs, because that's just how my brain processes it, so I can bring reality to it. Like there's a spirit, you're a spirit, you have a soul, you know what I'm saying? So you're a soul, you have a body. Sex reforms anything that gets down to the soul of a person. And sex reaches the deepest part of your soul. The deepest part of your soul. Anything that gets down to the soul of a person, it has the ability to shape and form it. And when you lie to your soul, because that's what sex is doing, illegal sex, let me say that. When you lie to that, it reforms and reshapes it. This is why it's so hard for women to come back from sex. This is why it's so hard when you have had sex with a guy, and it's hard to, like, if you no longer feel beautiful, you no longer feel worthy, because your soul has been reshaped, reformed. And considering the shape of your soul, it shapes how you feel. It's hard to not feel rejected when there's a wound or a shape of rejection in your soul. So a lot of times after we've had sex, because illegal sex breeds rejection, it breeds low self-esteem, it breeds, there's a gnat, it breeds these things. It's hard to not feel that, because that's the shape of your soul right now. This is why it is so important. If you have not considered your sexual behavior, if you think that just having sex and doing whatever you want to do, having sex with a boyfriend, it don't even matter what title this person has, and y'all have not made an honest decision before God, before witnesses, before yourself, within your own heart, to be committed to one another. If you think that's okay, I'm here to tell you it's not. I'm here to tell you that the enemy has set a trap and you're trapped in it. This is why I wrote the book. I can't talk about it unless I've been in it. Okay? I've been in the trap, got out the trap, and then fell back into the trap. Like, I got stories. This is not just a passion project. This is purpose fulfilled. This is something that the Lord told me to write, because it's real life. And every young woman, if you are considering dating, you want to be in a relationship, want to be married, want to be with the opposite sex, you must read this book. I'm telling you. But you have to consider your behavior, because you are setting yourself up for failure. You are lying to yourself, your own heart. And anytime a person lives a life of lies, hear me, queen, you are living a life divided. This is why you can't succeed, or this is why you can't finish things, or this is why things just seem so hard, because nothing divided can stand. Now, that's facts. As I'm speaking to you, I'm speaking to myself. Nothing divided can stand. Nothing divided is stable. If you're feeling mentally unstable, emotionally unstable, I guarantee you, your illegal sex that you're having plays a big part in that. Because sex, God says in his word, there is no other sin like sex, meaning he says when you sin outside your body, but when you sin sexually, you sin with against your whole body. He's saying you're sinning against your body and everything that encompasses you, your body, soul, and spirit. I understand that to be sex it has a way of infiltrating you and getting it into the deepest part of you like nothing else can. Period. And it's so true. Even if you don't understand it or believe it as you're reading that scripture, I believe it's 1 Corinthians chapter 6, starting at verse 10. Go look it up for yourself. When you have sex, what you're experiencing bears witness to what the word is saying. God, and one of God's truth, he said, you don't believe me? Believe the evidence. Go out here and live your life and believe me by looking at the evidence of what's happening to your body, soul, and spirit when you do these things. That would, listen, it will make a believer out of you that your word is true. Yes, it is, God. You are lying to your soul, and lies create cracks, divisions. Your soul is torn. It's being separated. You know what the word individual means? It means no division. A lot of us are out here. We're not actually individuals because we have so much division within our souls. Sex divides your soul. It reshapes, it actually deforms, okay, your soul. This is why God says, do not conform to the standards of this world. Do not conform to people having sex with whoever they want to, but be transformed. So my encouragement to you and me, if we are having illegal sex, reconsider. Hear me, Queen. You are lying. Your integrity has been broken. You can reform your integrity, because integrity means to live wholly, to be whole in one piece. It's one thing to live integriously, and it's one thing to be honest. Honesty means to tell the truth about something. Yeah, I slapped that person. Yeah, I lied. You're being honest that you lied. Integrity means to never lie at all. You kept yourself intact. You never lied. You were never fragmented to begin with. That's integrity, to live a life of wholeness. Does that make sense? Our desire, our goal in life is to live a life of sexual integrity. Why? Because when we don't, it reforms and reshapes our soul. It deforms it. It divides our soul. And our soul is where we function. It's our place of animation. When we speak, how we view life. You feel me? A lot of us women, our souls are so fragmented and divided, and we can't stand. We can't show up and be the woman that God created us to be. We can't fulfill anything. We can't complete anything. We're just barely holding on, barely trying to keep a job, barely paying our bills, barely doing this, barely doing that, because the foundation of our existence is cracked. It's cracked. It's fragmented. And then we try to get in a relationship on a faulty, fragmented foundation. I'm telling you, illegal sex destroys your life. But when you learn the art of integrity, especially sexual integrity, like I'm talking about right now, your foundation is being laid and is sturdy. When you live a life or you have a solid foundation, that's the only thing that life can be built on. That's the only thing that's going to hold a solid marriage, if that's your desire. Raising children, if that's your, that's your desire. Owning a business, building a business, maintaining a business. We make it harder for ourselves. We can't live a life on a cracked foundation. Sexual integrity is key. Telling the truth with your body. Your boyfriend ain't your husband. Your boyfriend ain't your husband. Your boyfriend has not been honest with you. He ain't made no commitment to you. There has been no foundation laid for you to both stand on. Okay? And your illegal sex is showing that. It's reinforcing the lies that has been built on. Or he's created a foundation of lies. And that's why many boyfriend-girlfriend relationships fail. Get pregnant. Y'all split. Or if you notice, once you start having sex, it just splits. Everything splits because of the lies that has been created or told. You've told each other lies with your body. Does that make sense? And nothing can be built on a lie. Nothing can be built on a lie. Hear me. Nothing can be built on a lie. Every guy that I've ever had sex with, split. Well, me and my dude, you know what I'm saying? We still together. It's just a matter of time. If you don't fix the foundation, Queen, hear me. Even if you marry this man, the lies, you can put stuff on top of the lies as long as you want to, but the lies will still be a part of the foundation, and it's going to come up at some point. This is why you see marriages. After 20 years, we divorced. Dang, what happened? Now, of course, there's nuances. There's, so many things that go into things, but I'm trying to show you the framework where there is lies. You can't. Lies don't dissipate. They don't go away. They fester. And it's going to come out in different ways. It's going to come out in different areas of your relationship and of your marriage. This is why you have to get to the root of the issue. Build a marriage on a solid, a truthful foundation, or those lies will seep up like weeds through your relationships after year 1, through year 2. We still together. We still give it time. Those lies are it's going to crumble your relationship. Hear me, Queen. Those lies are your relationship is going to crumble. If only you can see the sincerity. I'm sure you hear it in my voice. But may the Lord reveal, may the Lord open up your eyes to see how you govern your body now matters. I'm talking to myself. How you govern your body now matters. Consider your sexual activity. Giving your body to the Lord. And if you're having illegal sex right now, sex against God's word, against God's design, outside of a committed marriage, listen, you can make that decision change, or you can change your decisions just like that. If you've been lying your whole life, lying in this relationship, you can change it. Now, don't get me wrong. It is tough to live a life like this and then switch it. But you got to make a decision to do it first. You have to start somewhere. Okay? And it's going to be tough. I have a series called Tips on How to Win at Sex. Tips on How to Win at Sex on my YouTube channel. I can link it. Wherever I post this, I'll link it. But I give you tips on how to come out of that lifestyle, of that way of living, because it is a challenge. I know it. I ain't gonna sit here and make it seem like it's roses and peaches. For some of you, it may be, but for the majority, especially as a woman, you are under the authority of a man, whether he has legal access to your life or not, whether most of these men I'm talking about ain't your husband. It's hard to come out of that, to come from underneath a man when you're designed to be under a man's covering. And when you give your body to a man, you are glue. Your soul is tied to him, so it's hard to walk away. I know it, but I'm telling you, moments of frustration or discomfort now is worth it if you want a lifetime of integrity and success. Because if you're 30, 25, 22, like now, think of this. If you don't die until you're 100, that's 80 more years of life, 70 more years of life that you need to build on a solid foundation. You need to live a life of integrity. So go through the process of pain and separating and changing your ways now so that you can build the rest of your life on integrity and a foundation and a beautiful marriage. Hear me, Queen. I just wanted to share that. Sexual integrity, it will save your life. It's the foundation. Because here's the thing, of everything else. This is why my ministry is built on talking about love, sex, relationships, talking about specifically about sex, because sex has destroyed my life. Illegal sex has destroyed so many things. It's opened the door for the enemy to rob so much from me, and it's doing the same for you. You just don't know it. I'm here to tell you, but you just haven't realized it. He's been stealing from you. He's been delaying your life. He's been robbing you. The things that God called you to, the devil came in through sex, through illegal sex, and said, mine, because you open the door. Your money gone, your relationship's gone. He's stealing from you. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Sexual integrity is key. Consider your whole life right now. Be encouraged. Get this book. Where do I start? I don't know. Get this book. You got to start by reprogramming your mind. Allow the Lord to start to transform your soul. Since your soul is divided and split, it's going to have to be transformed by his hand, by his healing, and by his truth. Truth. If you fed your heart lies, because lies are words. Words. How do you tell a lie? Through words. But how do you tell a lie? Through sex? Because when you have sex, you're communicating words to each other's soul. Intercourse means to communicate, to exchange words. Look it up. Look up the word intercourse. So if lies are dividing your soul, splitting your soul, you're not an individual, meaning no division. You're divided. If lies do that, then guess what? Truth mends the soul. Truth transforms. If your soul is deformed, God will transform it. He'll put it into a whole state, a state how he created it so that it may function and that he may flow through it. Yeah, I'm a little ashy. Don't look at my ash. I know. People say don't look at it, but then they expose it. You see, ignore that. You got to get truth into your soul to transform it, to undo or to heal from the lies that you have fed it through illegal sex. Or that you allowed a God to feed it through illegal sex. Both ways. Illegal sex, he lying to you, you lying to yourself. Y'all lying to each other. Be encouraged. That's all I got for today. Amazon right now. Peace.